Oh, there it
Now
is.
streaming live. All right, thank you. I'd like to call the Amity Finance Committee meeting to order at 5:06 p.m. First on the agenda is discussion on possible action on minutes, pages 2 and 4. We can start with the first one, page 2. Folks have an opportunity to review the minutes? Chris?
Just quickly, yes.
Yeah, give me a second.
Yeah, just give me 1 second. I'd like to make a motion to
Yes.
approve.
I'm having an electronic malfunction. But I can either be in the meeting or I can be looking at the documents. So my computer's not helping me, but I will move the minutes. I did read them.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Jenny. Any questions or discussion? Minutes are approved?
Call the roll. Ms. Cardozo,
Yes.
Mr. Rao,
Yes,
Ms. Huxley,
Yes,
Jenny?
Dr. Turner.
Yes.
who's,
That was for the meeting minutes of February 8th, 2021. If you can turn to page 4 for February 24th, 2021. Very quick, that was our virtual meeting regarding the budget.
Make a motion to approve the meeting for the minutes for February 24th.
Thank you, Chris. Do we have a second?
second,
Thank you, Sharon. Any discussion or comments? Nope. Thank you.
Ms. Cardozo,
Yes.
Mr. Rao,
Yes,
Ms. Huxley,
yes, yes.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, moving on. Did we have any public comment for Finance Committee? No, we didn't have any. Okay, thank you. And next, we have discussion and possible action on awarding contracts over $35,000 from bond proceeds, page 5, to the HVAC project at Amity Regional High School. Can I ask Terry to take this through that, or Steve?
Sure. So in front of you, I left on the table for those who are here, a revised memo. And the difference is that Mr. Martoni was able to negotiate a further savings of $22,000. So the end price that we're going to ask the Finance Committee to recommend the board for is $1,219,600,000. This is the second phase and really right now, the final phase that we have for the HVAC system project replacements back from the 1990s vintages. We asked the vendor for a couple of alternates, so it was the remaining air handlers, 3 of them that needed to be replaced, and then some return air fans also. We did similar alternate requests last year when we did the first phase of the project, and then some quarter turn isolation valves, which if you have questions on, that's a Mr. Martoni question. So the $1.2 million price is for all of those options, and we do feel that they are all warranted to be done. So the remaining budget on that line from the bond proceeds was $1,165,700,000. We do have $39,155 left over from the cost of issuance. We paid all those bills last July, and it came in under budget by 39. So most of this will be covered by that balance there, and then we would need to use $2,700 roughly of contingency. We've had a lot of experience with Save More cooling in the past several years. We did have, I believe, 4 bidders come through the walkthrough. The last 3 times we've had projects, Save More has been the lowest bidder. I think that, you know, if I were to guess why they were the only bidder, I think when the other three who've been there and know that they were the lowest bidder the last 3 consecutive times that they chose not to throw their hat in the ring. But they've done good work for us. And again, they were willing to negotiate the price down. So we were happy about that.
So the leftover bond amounts are from what exactly?
So one of the line items we budget for when we take out the bond is to pay for the cost of issuing the bond. So we budgeted 110,000 and it came in less, 39,000.
Okay. But I'd like to make a motion to move to recommend the Board of Amity Board of Education award Sophomore Cooling and Heating of Southington, Connecticut, the contract for replacement of 3 air handlers, ductwork, and VAB modifications, baseboard heating, supply and exchange 2 cooling coils for existing rooftop units at Amity Regional High School, including 3 alternatives, return fans, and isolation valves at the bid price, including the 3 alternatives for $1,219,600.
Thank you, Chris. Do we have a second?
Second,
Any discussion or questions? I have Steve here.
A question.
Sharon, do you have a question?
no, I don't. No, sorry.
Okay, hearing none, we can call the vote.
I sure can. Ms. Cardozo?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Huxley?
Yes,
Dr. Turner?
Yes.
Thank you, and thank you to Terry, and thank you to Steve for doing the hard work to bring the numbers down.
And the extra 2,000.
We'll pay for the owl. Next, we have discussion of monthly financials on page 7.
So we have some changes this month. Overall, the forecast changes about 296,000 favorable. You know, we continue to try to estimate how this year will play out. We have some changes on certified salaries as we finish the fall season for sports and have estimated student activities. There's some savings when we go remote, the savings and substitute costs. So we keep trying to recapture things as the year progresses. Also have taken a little bit further savings on the medical and dental that came in for the month under budget again. So I increased the amount that we anticipate will be there at the end of the year. Again, it's about 84%. Hard to say how things will go as people now start to get vaccinated. You know, we're assuming we won't get to the full expenditure of the budget, but do expect to see that creep up. We do have a couple transfers later in the packet from accounts that we had taken some money from earlier in the year to pay for some COVID expenses, but those accounts needed those funds. So you'll see that snow removal, I'm sure you're not surprised, is over budget, 23,000 as of February. So we're gonna ask for a request for that for transfer from the facilities contingency later in the packet. Utilities is another area where right now we're seeing you know, a significant amount of savings, and it was very hard to estimate with increased hand washing, keeping the air handlers on longer, keep more fresh air coming in, what that would do to electricity bills, water bills, but then offset by the buildings not being used as, you know, anywhere near to the timeframes that they were. So we are seeing savings on electricity and water right now. And even though we do anticipate, you know, the buildings, their usage increasing for spring, we still think we're going to see some savings on those lines.
Is there anything for that explanation of the August bump? It was like, you know, 10, 20,000 on electricity, but for August, it was like.
There may have been estimated bills, and
Okay.
then there may have been an actual read in August.
It was like 200,000 in August. So maybe it was a real read, right?
Yeah, our August was low, and then September was, I think, did they have a lapse in an actual read?
No, I think those were actuals. And I want to say that was one of those with the supply rates.
Well, this is kilowatt hours, so,
Oh, those kilowatt hours?
yeah, so I'll get this down. We can go back and look at that, but I.
It just seems, it just stands out, right? Because
Yeah.
it's like 10 times what the other months are. So
I mean, if you think about it, August, so in July, we still would have been running some variation of a summer program. By August, we sort of fall off with everything, and then starting in September, we would have had all of the students back, the air handlers back up running, and everything kind of returning. So I would have to guess that it was probably a change in building usage.
And if you look at the actuals for the 2 previous years, it's low, it is a little low in 18-19, but then 19-20, it's right in line with the other ones. It just seems like an outlier. Just curious, if you could just let me know.
Yeah, we'll look at that.
Thanks.
Unemployment costs are lower than we thought at the beginning of the year. We had spent a considerable amount of the year, working with our unemployment agent to contest claims, and we've been successful. So now we're starting to see much smaller invoices for unemployment. I think that pretty much sums up the monthly forecast.
All righty. Hi, Joe, welcome.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Sorry I'm a little bit late. Hello. Hi, Jen, Sharon.
Are you?
Just to catch you up, we just concluded item 5, discussion of the monthly financials. If there were no questions, we can move on to the approved transfers under 3,000. On what page? Page 99.
99.
You can see February's listed there. They did have an Amistad program. They brought a speaker in the middle school.
Okay. Any questions on the monthly transfers under 3,000? Okay, thank you, Terry. And then let's talk more about
Over 3,000.
the larger ones. Page 100, budget transfers over 3,000.
Okay, so the first 2 for transportation, fuel, and special education. These are replenishing funds we had taken earlier in the year to cover some COVID costs. And now that we know how some other accounts are working out and these original line items do need the full amount of their budgets, we're putting money back into their accounts. So that's the transportation and fuel, and then the special education, the money between their accounts. The facilities, the last one is the snow removal, which I spoke about. That is over budget, and the request is taking it from contingency for facilities and moving into 3 schools line items as needed. Should we have another storm in March, we will need to come back and ask for another transfer. I just want to give you the balance on 2 contingency accounts. So the facility contingency will have 23,555 left, and the main contingency has 57,500 left.
What's our annual snow removal roughly?
About 67,000 is the 5-year average.
So it's like 40% over that. And you can guarantee no more snowstorms.
I do not guarantee that at all.
Buyers can
I do
guarantee
not
that.
guarantee that at all either.
I'd like to make a motion to move to recommend the Board of Education approve the following budget transfers from the transportation line to cover fuel cost budgeted monies previously transferred to cover COVID costs for $18,630.
Do we have a second?
I saw Dr. Turner's hand up first, but we'll let Sharon do the next one. So we'll make sure we're equal.
You can have this one
Opportunity.
too.
We'll do 1, 2, 3 here.
Okay, so we have a motion, it's seconded. Any questions or discussion? No, hearing none?
Ms. Cardozo?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Nuzzo?
Yes.
Huxley?
What?
We're taking a roll.
We're
We're
voting
calling
on,
the roll for the vote for
The
the
18,000.
first transfer of 18,030.
Mhm. Who did, oh, did you call me? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Dr. Turner?
Yes. Sometimes it cuts out a bit and it seems to
Yeah.
happen in the roll call more than other times.
Interesting. Sean?
maybe it's background noise. Maybe we can try to completely silent next time you speak. So, motion passes. Moving on to the next one for special education.
I'd be happy to move to recommend to the Amity Board of Education move the following budget transfers between technology accounts to cover costs of professional technical services and transportation and special education departments for $25,500 and $3,524.
If I could just correct, that's special ed accounts, that's my error
Did I say?
there.
special
No,
ed?
you read it right, I
Oh,
referred to technology and said special ed.
all right.
Corrected by Ms. Loomis. Do we have a second?
Sure.
Sharon?
Try this. Ms. Cardozo?
Yes.
Mr. Brown? Mr. Nuzzo?
Yes.
Huxley?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
I think it's, yeah, and I also wonder if it's switching between, like, it's so fast, it can't catch up when I'm just saying a
That's
name.
why I turned down the voice filter so that it doesn't listen for noise and then pick up when it thinks it hears a voice, it just picks up everything.
Okay,
So maybe it won't cut out now.
Yeah, sometimes I don't hear the name, but sometimes I can hear it very faintly.
Well, thanks.
All
Keep
right.
that feedback
Well,
coming.
we
so that
appreciate
can tweak
this.
Good trial run.
There's one more left, we can go.
okay.
Okay, great. All right, so let's move on to the last motion. This is for the snow removal.
I'd be happy to make the motion again, if no one else wants to recommend the Amity Board of Education approve the following budget transfers for facilities contingency account to cover snow removals through February for the total amount of $23,025.
Can I have a second on this motion?
Second.
It's good. That's fine.
Thank you, Sharon. Any questions for Terry or Steve? Okay. Dr. Byers?
Ms. Cardozo?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Nuzzo?
Yes.
Ms. Huxley?
Yes.
Yes.
And if we have Terry?
Sorry, I failed to mention on the monthly forecast that this is the first month that the forecast includes the 1% being earmarked for the transfer account to go in capital reserve. So when you look at the Excel spreadsheet, that it is taking into account that that vote will happen in August and that the money will be there. But this is the first month. We've talked about it before, but this is the first month the financials show that.
So the 280 that's on here as a balance?
Is net of
Is net,
507,000.
Right, so another 500,000 or so, right,
Correct.
on top, so it'd be 7 something.
Yeah.
Is that clear to everyone on Zoom?
Mhm.
Perfect, thank you. Any other comments, Dr. Byers, Ms. Loomis?
Not at this time.
All right. No other business before us. I want to thank you all for your participation, and I would like to make a motion or to hear a motion, entertain a motion to adjourn at 5:25.
Woohoo.
Motion, anyone wants to make it?
Somebody else second.
All right.
Got it.
Thank you very much. Thank you, folks. Enjoy your evening.
Yeah, you too. Thank you, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
You, Joe.